The penultimate round of the Super 6 Touring Car Series boasts the most impressive lineup this season with the return of two great champions. Simon Taverner, you're one of them. 2 times you've had this title and we've missed your racing. You've been with the V8 Touring Cars. How's that been for you?
Yeah, that was an interesting exercise. We just missed, we realised how much we missed the fun of this and all the camaraderie and the racing. 29 cars out here, all fast guys. I mean, there's 10 guys that can legitimately win a race today. Hopefully we're one of them, but the chances are we're not too confident at the moment, you know what I mean?
I don't believe you, Simon. Now there's a 3-way battle at the top that is tight, and you and Sean Jamieson are likely to upset, to be honest.
We'll try, you know what I mean? Yeah, me and Jam will just go out and give it a red hot crack, and if we can make it a bit more interesting for them, we will do so.
Now you've had the car for just 1 week, completely stripped it, rebuilt. Are you confident of translating that effort on the track?
The car's getting better. We were pretty woeful yesterday. We got a bit better today, and we're going in the right direction with it. But yeah, it was a massive push by the lads. So we've turned it around in 1 week. Painted. Travick Casey Accident Repairs did a massive job for us on the weekend. We absolutely went all through it. We got Selby, the sponsors, onto board with this one, so they're helping us out. So yeah, it should be a great car and great weekend, and hopefully we can just get it a bit faster for later on in the year. So
very commendable effort. Now 33 points separate the top 3, and returning veterans hope to spoil the party.
The Dial Before You Dig Australian Super 6 Touring Car Series has been entertaining us all season long. Gary O'Brien alongside me for this round. GOB, we're coming into the critical point of the season. Gavin Ross, the man to beat, a narrow lead in the championship, but man, he was good. One race won.
Yeah, did it the right way, and when you want to come to a fast circuit like this, you want to be able to go out there and win. And Lindhoff really didn't have an answer to him.
And those are the two main protagonists fighting for the championship. Kenny Baxter Smith in there as well, only finished 13th in the opening race, so the leading Ford contender in the Super 6 Series has got it all to do. We're getting set for race 2, just about perfect conditions here at the Phillip Island Grand Prix circuit. Temperatures in the very high teens, almost 20 degrees today, and this is how they start. The finishing order from race 1 held on Saturday afternoon. Wayne King will be one to watch from 3rd place, Jason Leoncini from 4th. Over the page, watch for the 56 car, Kane Baxter Smith. He's been fast this year.
He has been. Won all 3 races at the last round in Queensland, and had some fuel-related issues that have seen him down the order. More so than we normally would expect.
Harley Phelan, another one coming through the field, and we always need to keep an eye on the GAG Hinda Transport number 2 car of Benny Grice. Always one worth watching. Tony Ordino carries one of our onboard cameras. Massive field, 29 cars here this weekend as we get set in the Super 6 Tourers at Phillip Island. This could be interesting. It always is. And we're underway. Good start from Ross from pole in that bright green Commodore. The local driver fights it out with Lindorf on the run down into turn 1.
Lindorf actually got the jump, but couldn't go on with it, and Ross takes the lead going into turn 1.
So it really is a field of champions as we see one car bouncing off over the gravel down at
Ben Grice it is.
Yeah, so Gricey down through the grass at turn 1 and 2, gathers it up, but he's dropped about 15 spots.
Which isn't hard when, and then Luke Westall off on the outside of the track out of turn 3.
Another of the leading Ford contenders, Gary. It's not going well for Ford fans this weekend. The GM product really dominating. Luke's going to be literally last in this one.
Yeah, missed the last round because he was on his Bucks weekend.
Oh, good. As excuse as any, you take that. I was going to make the point, this really is a field of champions this weekend, because not only is the double and defending champ Simon Taverner back in the field, Sean Jamieson in the field, Wayne King in the field, some real stars of saloon car racing in Super 6 for the last 5 or 6 years back in the grid.
No one's hitting him heavier than Gavin Ross at the moment. Out in front as they head up the back of the track for the first time. Lindorf in second, King and Leoncini. Massive dice through race 1, and looks like it's on again.
Yeah, they're really getting stuck into each other as they go past the hay shed and up to Lukey. Turn 2, down the inside. Big move by Sean Jamieson on the defending champ Simon Taverner, back in the series this weekend with number 1 on his door, but in a strange position for Simon. We saw him dominating the series for 2 years, and only, and I say only in a 29-car field, P6 at the moment.
Well, they've moved on since 2013, I guess.
Well, 6 months is a long time in motor racing, you're right.
Look at the gap. That's second and third and fourth going down there, and here we have fifth and sixth. These two former champs are right at it at the moment.
Gavin Ross, meanwhile, has checked out. He has disappeared up the road.
And look who's just coming up behind them as they go down through turn one. That white car going off the field, Rick Gill, and Kane Baxter-Smith is now past him. He's the leading forward already.
So he's charged his way through from 13th. Gee, turn one's been the hot spot in this series. He's still got the dash mat on that car. I love it. He just cut down the glare, look after the...
Yeah, the sun does make him crack up a bit, but Dave Wright also through on Gill and Chris Lillis.
Yeah, down the inside. So a wild ride for Rick Gill down at turn one. Leon Cheney side by side with King.
Yeah. That's, what do you call it, synchronised drifting.
And Jamo just in there as well, looking for another spot. It's great to have them back in the series. On board with Lillis, grabbed that spot from Gill before. Looks like Benny Grice just up in front.
No, that's came Baxter-Smith just ahead of him.
So Baxter-Smith has been making good ground from his 13th place starting position.
You might be right, it might have been Grice there.
I think it was.
So we've seen Lillis go off the track at some stage there.
So Grice has been making good headway since dropping it on the opening lap. Big dive bomb down the inside. Wayne King pulls a good move on Leon Cheney at MG, but I don't think the number 3 car's done with this yet. A bit of a love tap.
Yep.
At turn 11.
You're on my part of the track. Get out of the way, please.
That's good fun, hard racing, isn't it? But this has been a Holden racetrack this weekend. The VT Commodore's dominating. Martin off the road in a big way. He's a long way off the road, smoke out the front, so I'd suggest there's been contact at the front as well. Probably not a good time to advertise your car for sale as we take a look at the race start replay.
Got a Western Australian and a Queenslander duking it out as they go down to turn one. That's Gill's car, of course, we're looking out of. That's Jamison, the next one up the road. Takes a sneaking look up the inside there.
This might help explain why Gricey went off. That's why.
That's why.
Big bump through turn one, which is a quick corner. Now this, no, 3 wheels on his wagon. And
at MG corner, it's not the place to happen.
That tyre just wanted to go back to its friends there in the tyre bundles. Lots of them on that slippery escape road. What a shame. And that is a brake rotor. That's going to be hot, mate. Don't touch that. Whoa, locking the rears up. How's this, Sean Jamison? Grabs the brakes down into turn 4. It is all happening.
These two are at it again. And there's
drives him off the road. Gricey into the back of Rick Gill and well and truly serves him.
You think that might be a bit of payback?
No, I'm not going to say, Gary. I'll get in trouble. That's, wow, controversial stuff. It is hot. You fight for every single position in the Super 6 touring car field. And Gricey says he loves to hang it out. He's having a ball in the mid-pack at the moment, carving his way back through the field. Meanwhile, this fight for the minors continues. It is all going on. There is Lindorf. Baxter-Smith with a dive bomb on Sean Jamison now. Red Commodore, blue Falcon.
As they should be.
And a big move around the outside as well. So here's a look at this. Gricey well and truly locked into the rear bumper of Rick Gill's AU Falcon and sent him off the road, and Gricey gets a place, so might take a look at that after it. And this is Baxter-Smith, big move, got it stopped, and there was no contact there.
Yeah, we just ran out of momentum on the exit, cost him a bit of space. This dice continues as well.
Not over yet.
King Cheney just had a bit of a glitch in the middle of the corner. Dave Wright got ahead of Baxter-Smith out of that last little episode, and now Baxter-Smith gets back ahead of the young Victorian.
Well, they're fighting for first forward home, and it'll be big bragging rights, and they're doing it by going side by side through Siberia and the run round to the Hayshed at this awesome circuit. This is a great race. How's the action? And 29 cars on the grid. There is something to look at all the way through the field.
Yeah, we're only in the top 10. Imagine what it's like back in back with the rest of the guys. There's no one's anywhere near Gavin Ross though as he pokes it down through MG corner. Travis Lindorf second. Still these dice is going behind him.
There's a Leon Cheney still holding on for third place from an aggressive Wayne King. And this fight, Sean Jamison holding on from the Green Falcon behind him. I think the only real big name we're missing from this one is probably Matty Lovell. It'd be great to have him back in the mix. Imagine the action we'd have then.
Or Bruce Heinrich.
Well, yeah, what, 6 times Luke car champ off the road. Jabo in a big way. Massive lose at a high-speed corner. And how's the car control to hang on to that?
Well, it took out a high-tech sign as well, but that'd be the least of his worries.
Well, it was a pretty low-tech move to get it back on. Just hang on. And wow, the commitment there was huge. Understeered off the road, and he's still sliding around. I wonder if he might have a puncture now because of that. He might have a Bridgestone going down on the Morphett Vale Garage 10 car. Oh man, here's a look at it.
Coming back on from Chris Lillis's car.
How's the recovery? Almost about the inside wall. Look at the car control. Full lock to full lock, left to right, sliding through, massively wet offline to the grass is saturated after rain all week leading up to the round, and that is a very, very big save.
Luke Westall's got some spots back here leading Gill. Both those Falcons have been off the road at some stage, and both now coming back on the back of Jamison, who's just up ahead of them. And I think it's Taberner, the next one up the road from them.
Looks like Brent Edwards in the Truck Phones number 18 car, just working his way through the field, started a long way down the grid.
Yeah, had some diff issues in qualifying and some more of that in the first race, rear axle problems.
Nice and smooth and controlled. Off the road right. He was the leading Ford, no more. He's off in the gravel at turn 2. Not the first, it must be said, in today's racing.
As Jamison gets that spot back. I bet you didn't expect to get it back so easy.
And here's Gill, it looks like he might get that place as well. Jamo circulating in search of a clean pair of undergarments after a massive off at 160 odd k's an hour coming out of turn 12, and there he goes back to the back of the garages. I think he's had quite enough of this race, thank you very much. Meanwhile, Gavin Ross, race 1 victory and did it comfortably, and he's doing the same in this. And meanwhile, Tabernor applying the pressure to Kane Baxter-Smith.
Certainly made a good-looking car out of that white Commodore, haven't they, with that signage on it. Very nice.
6 on the road, Gary.
Not probably where he really want to be.
Well, it's been a while out of the seat. He's been dabbling in the Kumo V8 Touring Car Series and had a couple of really good runs in that back in the Super 6 car for this weekend. This is the fight for 3rd place. Wayne King not giving up.
Even Baxter-Smith is having difficulties out of turn 3 and into turn 4, but holds off the 2-time champion on this final lap.
What a stunning drive by this guy. Gavin Ross has been at the top of his game all season, and these are the rounds you've just got to maximise when you're at the happiest best with the car and the racetrack and driving well. You've got to maximise the points, and he's done that so far. And his nearest championship rival, Travis Lindorf, in 2nd. So solid points for Lindorf, but this is a real exercise in building the lead for Gavin Ross. So Victorian Commodores are 1, 2, 3 at the moment on home turf. It really is home ground advantage in what is essentially final season now in the Shannon's Nationals and the Super 6 touring cars. He's still driving it hard all the way to the flag. He's broken the lap record in this race, and it's a 2nd win for Gavin Ross, and demolishes the field in race 2 of the Super 6 Tourers. Lindorf 2nd, and the 3 car gets home in 3rd just after a massive fight. Meanwhile, 5th place is covered by about a 2nd between 5 cars. Baxter-Smith finished behind King for P5, Taberner 6th, Lillis 7th, and David Wright, despite the off at the end, rounded out the top 8. Wild race, Rick Gill 9th, Phil Gray next, and some walking wounded a little bit further back.
It's really tight. The top 3 are fairly tight in the championship, so between me and Trav there's not much at all, so race wins are everything. But Trav finished 2nd to me, so it wasn't as much as we want, but yeah, race wins a race win. I love it, it's good.
He's so enthusiastic, Gavin Ross, and he led the field away for race 3. We're taking a look at highlights of the final race of the weekend. Gary O'Brien still alongside me. Even Stevens on the start between the 2 key championship protagonists, and Lindorf applied the pressure. Meanwhile, 29 cars all winning to turn 4 all about the same time, and it got a little bit messy further down the field.
Yeah, and a few of them didn't quite come out as they intended to go in. Leon Cheney and Lillis. Lillis did a little bit better. I think it was a bit of a brush as they went past there as well.
And Cheney, having finished 3rd in race 2, dropped right back through the field and was in the thick of the action. Lillis and the number 3 car got into each other just a little bit down at turn 4 as they were working their way through the field. Meanwhile, here comes Gracie.
Down on the inside of one of the Dom before he Falcons.
And principal car making his way forward. Meanwhile, Rick Gill, he's had an up and down weekend. Plenty of speed, but also a bit of time off the road.
Yeah, well, I suppose the positive is you're amongst the top running Fords, even if you aren't on the track all the time.
This was a great fight. Leon Cheney on the comeback trail, wrapped up the double champ, ran the outside at Lukey Heights.
Got some talent, this kid.
Plenty of speed. Meanwhile, no one could catch this guy. Speaking of talent, 3 from 3, a clean sweep. Very difficult to do in the Super 6 Touring Car Series. Thanks to Dial Before You Did.
I'm just going to soak it in. It's been a long time, so yeah, we've got a couple of new sponsors on board, Carpet Shed and Exity, so I can't complain. It's been great. So yeah, I'm just going to lap it up while we can.
Well, why not? And the advantage is he takes a handy lead over Travis Lindorff and Kane Baxter-Smith going into the final round of the series at Wakefield Park in October. Rick Gill up to 4th in the standings. Harley Phil in P5 after a tough weekend. And Leon Cheney